We're back. Bro, I'm looking crazy right now. I need a haircut. Dang, bro. I need a haircut though, but yeah, so we back with another video. Continuing where we left off at with the scary animation. Wait, oh shoot. Oh, it's my clock. Alright, yeah. Continuing with the scary animation. So yeah, let's get it. Here we go.
This is not about my story, but someone from my church, and he wanted to share his experience with anyone else. He's a 32-year-old man, and his pseudonym is Mark. He's a fairly big guy, and this situation took place when he was on his way home from work. He said that he had lost his phone 1 week before this whole situation happened, so he couldn't call and get any help during this story. It was quite late, around 11 p.m. He had finished work and was walking to a taxi stop location. And when he got there, a few people were standing around waiting.
Real quick. So, I'm trying to post this one skit video with me having superpowers. But, for some reason, I don't know what's happening. I posted it up. And then when I posted it, the whole thing went blank. So, I was like, man, I had to take it off. Then, I tried to edit it. But then, I had to, go do something. So, my phone was off. I turned it off. Then, when I came back, bro, I had to restart all that editing again. And I was almost done. And I had to redo it all over again. And my friend been asking me, he was like, bro, are you going to upload it today or something? And I was like, yeah. Man, that was bad. Now I got to do it a whole nother day. I really don't want to do that again right now. Because that took forever. I'm not trying to do that again. But anyway, here we go.
As well. After about 2 minutes, he noticed that there was a minivan approaching. Usually, minivans are cheaper than taxis, and he felt tired that day, so he decided to take the minivan. He sat on a seat, and there was a young boy seated in the passenger side next to the driver, who was collecting the fare. And then, two other boys who looked like teenagers also boarded the minivan and sat in the seats in front of him. Once the minivan took off, after about 5 minutes, the boy asked if they would like to drink some Coke.
You already know that boy
the boys accepted and started
driver are
drinking.
suspicious. You already know.
And they also gave it to Mark. Mark was also feeling thirsty, so he took it, but only a sip. Not much later, he started feeling drowsy.
Real quick, down in the comments below, would you do that? Like, if you didn't know somebody was offering you, like, Coca-Cola or whatever, would you take a little sip or nothing? I know for sure I wouldn't. I don't. But, alright, let's get it.
Just before he about laid his head on the seat beside him, he noticed that those two boys were already knocked out.
Because I knocked him out.
After he laid his head down, he heard noises coming from the back seats. Two people were talking in a different language. The car was passing a big signboard that showed Crest Chicken Farm. And then he finally passed out. When he got up, he found himself inside a big shed-like barn, and there were some tools on a big table. He was on the floor, and the other two teenage boys were laying next to him. He still felt a bit drowsy, but he managed to get himself up as he was looking for an escape. He saw that the two boys were still passed out, so he tried waking them, but they wouldn't budge. As Mark was kind of a big man, he tried to see if he could carry one of them, but it was hard to do because even Mark was having a hard time to stand properly. And then, he heard voices. He took a peek from the door, and three people were walking toward the big shed, coming from a house on the hill, which was quite close to the shed.
Right.
Mark panicked and tried to look for another exit. He was looking around the place, and he found one at the end of the shed, luckily. He approached quietly, and escaped as fast as he could. At this point, his vision was all blurry, but he managed to find a fence door and unlocked it. He heard the people
Keep
shouting,
going.
but he ignored. He just kept on running. When he finally reached his house, it was early morning, around 5 a.m. His wife was up all night waiting for him and ran out the front door as soon as she saw him. He collapsed and slept for almost the whole day. When he woke up and finally got a chance to explain to his wife what had transpired that night, he remembered about the other two boys who were still there. Then he contacted the police immediately.
No.
He told police about the road
What
signs.
the heck? You should have did that all that stuff before. Right when he got home. Called the police. You should not have waited the next day. He should have known what was going on with the other little two people. He was gonna die. No, you should have called the police right when he got home.
And a big billboard for Crest Chicken Farm and other things that he could remember. About 2 weeks after, there was a police report about how they found two teenage boys' bodies in a lake and advised that when they examined the bodies, all their organs were missing.
Can't trust people.
Mark just stood in fear. And as the event was too traumatic for him, Mark had to quit a job for a while.
How y'all doing? Welcome to GoPuff, the fastest delivery service out there. Today we're going to show you how it's done. So we just got an order. They want
This happened when it was our school's camping day. All the grades went to each other's places, and our teacher had taken the 6 students to this large site that was quite cheap. It started off all right. I got a room with some of my friends at the time, and my closer friends were in the next room. The first incident started when I was the only one in my room, still packing mine and the other people's stuff away. I was on the bottom bunk, letting my mate take the top. When I looked up was some sentence, and it said, "Hello, you are going next," with a creepy smile. On the second day, we all went outside. There were teepee tents next to a field.
That didn't bother him at all. He said, "Oh, you are going next," with a creepy smile. And then walked off all good. Like, he should have said. I mean, nah, he should have said. Well, I wouldn't say anything, but no, I'd be like, all right, but I would like, you know, my surroundings or whatever. I would, you know, be cautious.
I hung out in one of my friends. Some others hung out in a second tent. But in the third tent, I saw a shadow with a knife. I told the teacher and another student who went in, but didn't come out. But nobody believed me, and there was nobody
Hey, when
inside
people
the
don't
tent.
believe you.
I thought something was really weird. On the third day, 3 of my roommates were out on a day trip with some others, which I was going to do the next day. I had done a mud course, and after that, I decided to have a shower. The water was black and disgusting, which added to this horrible week. All of a sudden, when I was still in the shower booth, the doorknob was shaking. I screamed, and when I got out, I saw a handwriting, "You won't leave alive," on the wall. Then I saw a shadow in the window.
After that, I'll be like, alright, yep, you already know what time it is. I'm getting all my friends. We gonna like make a whatever we have with us, like whatever we packed or whatever, we using that as a weapon. We gonna either get a stick or something, and even if we ain't got nothing to like use a weapon or nothing, we're gonna find. We're gonna ask the teacher if we could run off really quick, or I'll probably sneak off, but get a stick, like a sturdy, big, long stick, and then keep that with me all the time. I'm gonna stay awake all the time too. I ain't throwing the bed, and then we'll be good.
My room's door was locked while I was having a shower, so no one could enter in our room.
But I'll always stay with the
The fourth day, I was taking a walk someplace that no one knew. And then I found a huge knife and blood-soaked clothes. I just hoped that this stupid and terrible camp would finish soon. Then the last night, I woke up in the middle of the night because I saw the same shadow leaving my room. And there was a knife on the
He
floor.
got lucky.
Again. I couldn't sleep the rest of that night. The last day, I was left to clean the room and set the beds for the students, whoever would use it next. When I was about to finish, I saw the door and it said, "You are lucky you survived. I didn't have
said
enough
that
time,
too. I said, you
but
got
next,
lucky.
I will not let you go." I panicked, so I ran from that creepy room. I told my teacher. However, by the time we got back, it was gone. As I got onto
That's
the
kinda
bus, I
weird.
looked in the window of that room, and the shadow stared back at me, with a decapitated head in one hand, and in the other hand, the same knife I had seen twice. Later, when I came back from the camp, I heard about that place. It was an orphanage and a mental institution that had many mysterious deaths. To this day, I wondered what would have happened if I'd spent longer than 5 days at that place.
This happened pretty
TikTok.
recent.
Bro, everybody
3
got
weeks ago.
TikTok now.
Myself and 3 friends were hanging out at a shopping center one evening. We were messing around posting clips on TikTok. Then one of my friends started laughing. And I asked her what she was laughing at. She told me that guy behind us kept staring at me. When I turned around, it was some older guy watching me. He had black sunglasses, a cap, an old Adidas tracksuit with scuffed up shoes,
Bro,
and
why
had a
do you like
disgusting
Shrek?
looking beard.
Nah, he kinda does it. He
My
kinda
friends thought
do,
it was
but he
hilarious,
kinda
but I
doesn't
found it
though.
really weird. Then another one of my friends said she thinks that guy lives on her street, about a few houses down from her. She said that he actually follows her on TikTok. At that point, I quickly got my phone out to check if he was following me, and he was. I had to block him because he seemed a bit creepy. We went to get McDonald's before we went home, and I received a message on TikTok from someone. It was that guy who had been following us. His name was Greg, and he wrote, "Why did you block me?" with 2 emojis. One was a crying face, and the other one was an angry face. He had actually created another account that day in the shopping center. I blocked that account as well, hoping that would be the end of it. I didn't mention it to my friends this time, knowing they would just laugh. That night, I was up late and had Netflix on in the background as I was chatting with my friends on Facebook while scrolling through TikTok. I got up to use the bathroom, and when I returned, I had 3 messages from my friends, all saying the same thing. All were things like, "Who's in your room?" and "What's up with your last post?" I asked them what they were talking about, and they told me to check my TikTok, so I did. It was a clip of my bedroom. It was a clip of someone picking up my phone and recording the inside of my room. At that point, I heard creaking. Then I heard a man's voice say, "Sorry. Please don't scream." And
Nope. I'm dipping. Whoever's in the house with me, come on, get a weapon. Let's run him out. That simple. If I'm home alone. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. Never mind.
turned to see my closet door slightly open.
Nah, I'll say a little bit, but I'm home alone. Give me 2 knives. Tink, tink, tink. And then he's gonna be like, nope, ding, ding, ding.
I started to scream when the same guy who had been following
And if he like dodging all them, throw, shink, got caught, yep, get out.
us burst out of my closet and tried to cover my mouth. Thank God I screamed and it was enough for my when my dad tackled the guy to the floor. The police were called, and he was arrested. We were informed that the guy had straight up admitted to stalking and breaking and entering. One of my friends pointed out, if I go back and look at the post on TikTok from when we were in the shopping center, you can see Greg is in almost all of those pictures, somewhere in the background. I haven't heard what's going to happen to Greg yet, but I just hope he won't ever come near us again.
Someone tried to kidnap me when...
It happened about 6 months.
My finger. Nah, someone tried to kidnap me when I went canoeing.
It happened about 6 months ago. I was in a scouting group, and at the end of the semester with the last group meeting, we always did something
I kind of
special.
like rock climbing.
But this time
We
was
have
a
one
little
at the
different.
park over here.
Instead of going indoor climbing, our scout leaders decided to go canoeing. I was really excited about it because I'd never canoed before. As always with every trip, we should have to be an hour earlier as we were riding our bikes to the destination. I noticed something. It was a creepy looking old man staring at us with an almost psychopathic like
Oh, this is my last one I'm in the video.
grin on his face. His clothes looked old and dirty. But I shook it off, thinking that even if the
Dirty,
guy was
nasty
some
old
kind of creep,
non-washing happened.
it still wouldn't matter because we were with the group. As we arrived at our destination, the guy from the canoe company told us how to row, and that we had to choose our buddy to canoe with. I chose my friend Noah that we've been friends since elementary. We got to go first, and it was sort of a race, so we were happy to go first. But within 10 minutes, we got passed by my little brother and his friend. It went pretty normal after that. We saw this guy in the middle of the stream in a boat, just fishing and sipping a beer. 10 minutes after, I saw the same guy I saw on the way here. He was just standing on the ground next to the stream with that same awful grin on his face. I thought of it as being a cliche, as this always happens in the movies. Noah also said, it's probably just a coincidence. He said this place is a popular camping place, especially at this time of the year. To be honest, he wasn't that scary that time. He might just be an old crazy man trying to scare some of the kids. So I just canoed on, and half an hour later, we were at the end. I got wet, so I grabbed a towel, and we went back to the meeting place. After that, I was going home alone, riding my bike. And I saw that same old guy in a car with another man who was sitting back seat. And they started slowing down. And the man asked me, "Hey kid, looks like you need a ride." The man behind the wheel said nothing. And I tried to say it as polite as possible. "Oh,
Nope.
no, thanks. I'm almost home anyway." As I looked at the man again, and I noticed fury and madness in his eyes, which I didn't know why. I just got scared, so I pedaled my bike out of fear of being kidnapped. But the car started chasing me, and they blocked the road. It was around 9 p.m. in a suburban neighborhood. Nobody was out on the street. As that guy opened the door, he jumped out and pushed me aside from my bike. I saw him with a gun in his hand. Then he finally knocked me out unconscious. I don't remember how many hours passed. However, I could hear the sirens dimly. 2 police officers saw this car was speeding, so they were chasing him. I also heard gunshots, which made me so scared. And then they shouted, "Shots fired! Shots fired!" 2 minutes later, the gunshots stopped, and the trunk where I was opened. It was a police officer. He took me out and told me,
Should have been like, boom, boom, kicking with his legs or something.
"It's safe now. Don't worry." Later, an ambulance arrived soon, so I could go to the hospital and met my parents there. Now 6 months passed, but I still think about what if the police officers didn't see them. and they took me to the place where they were heading.
What's the next?
Congratulations, Dragon Master.
Alright. My true horror story about my dad. My dad. Alright, I'll catch y'all next time. I'm out. But I hope I can post this skit video, cause I've been wanting to post it, but man, keeps messing up. I edited it twice. Then no, actually 3 times, cause today. And then I gotta edit it again cause it messed up. Bro, I'm not trying to do all that. Man, but alright, y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Cause I'm a player. So no, peace out.